Hello everyone. So welcome to my channel, and in this video we are going to see the Modi method. It is modified distribution. Yes, students find it very tough, but trust me, I promise I am going to make it very simple and very easy for you. It is actually very easy, but then you just have to pay attention, and I am going to give you some tricks in this video to solve by using Modi method. Okay, we need to brush up some background for this, right? So you must see my transportation problem video before this, and that video was also very viral. So you can watch that video. That is going to give you the idea of what is transportation problem. And then we have like two types of solutions for all the transportation problems. First is basic solution, that is known as initial feasible solution, and second is optimum solution. Okay, so initial feasible solution is going to give you one solution. Okay, that is the valid solution, but then that might not be the best solution for that transportation problem, but that is one of the solutions. You have got three methods to solve by using to find out the initial basic solution. We have already seen all of those three methods in that video which I just mentioned. In this video we are going to see the optimum solution. Say for example, you found out initial feasible solution for the transportation problem, but then you still need to go ahead, dig in and find out the best suitable solution for your problem. So that is known as optimum solution. So to find out that optimum solution, you need some method. So there are basically two methods. One is stepping stone method and one is Modi method. So usually the stepping stone method is not used, but then Modi method is very popularly used. Okay, so now we are not going to do the initial feasible solution in this video, because then the video is going to be very lengthy, right? So this problem is given to you in which the initial feasible solution is already found out by using any one of the methods, right? Let it be like northwest corner or least cost method or VAM, right? Vogel's approximation method. So we have already found out the allocations or the initial solution by using VAM in this video. So this solution is already there, right? We are just going to see the Modi part, the further part for this. Okay, we'll do this part. I will solve this by using the VAM method in the other video, but for now we are looking for Modi method. So this solution is already there. We'll assume that we have got the initial feasible solution. Let's get started with optimum solution directly. So what this problem says, see carefully, there are 4 destinations and there are 5 sources, right? Straightway. So now this is going to be the supply and this is going to be the demand, which means that S1 can supply maximum 10 units that way, right? S4 can supply maximum 40 units that way, and then D1 can have demand of maximum 60 units, D4 can have demand of maximum 10 units, and so on. And then these figures which are there inside every cell, those are your costs, right? And we always try to minimize the cost, and that is why transportation problem will always be of minimization type of problem, right? We have already seen all of this thing in first video, but still just to brush it up quickly. Now let's get quickly started with Modi method. So the very first step is check if the solution is feasible, and then only you can go to find out the optimum solution for it. How do we check if the solution is feasible or not? Very simple. Check for m plus n minus 1. M means number of rows, n is number of columns, then minus 1. What is m? M is number of rows, 5, right? So 5 plus 4 columns minus 1. How much it gives you is 8, right? So if there are 8 allocations in the solution which you received, then this is the feasible solution, and you can check for the optimum solution by using Modi method, right? So first step is clear. Okay, now let's see how many allocations are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 allocations are there, and this formula is also giving you the answer as 8, which means that this is the feasible solution, and you can go ahead to check its optimum solution. Okay, now we know that okay, we have to solve it for optimum solution by using Modi method. So first step for Modi solution is find out row numbers and column numbers. What do I mean by that? So after this supply and after this demand, I am going to add one more row and one more column to indicate row number and column number. How do we indicate those row numbers and column numbers? So row numbers would be U indicated by U's, series of U's. So U1, U2, U3, U4 and U5. Okay, and column numbers are indicated by V1, V2, V3, V4. Now wherever you see in whichever row or column you see maximum allocations, for that corresponding row or column you are going to assign it 0. That's the first step. Let me tell you. See, now in the first column, you see 3 allocations. In second column, you again see 3, then 1, then 1. If you go row wise, then 1 allocation, 1 allocation, 1 allocation, 3 and 2. So maximum there are 3 allocations, right? So you are going to assign 0 to any of those, right? Which means that you can take 0 here also, or maybe this corresponding row 0 here also, right? Wherever you see 3 allocations, because that's maximum, you can give it 0 randomly over there. Now I am going to assign 0 to this, because see, there are 3 allocations in the first column itself. So I will make it 0 here, right? You got one value, right? One column number you received. Now take reference of that, and then you would be able to find out the corresponding row numbers, right? So you always have to understand or keep in mind that you have to look for the allocated cell only. You have to look for the allocated cell only. So which are the allocated cells in this and this, right? So you would be able to find out the values of these 3 corresponding rows, right? Now how do we find it out? Very easy. Addition of row and column, addition of corresponding row and column is equal to the cost which is there in that matrix. Cost, not the allocation. Addition of that row and the corresponding column is equal to cost in that cell. So that's the formula. Easy. So let's try to find it out. See, it is 0 here. Allocation is here. So we would be able to find out U1. What should be that? That should be 10, right? 10 plus 0 equals to this 10, right? Now let's check for this. This is 0, right? So now this is 4. So U3 should be 4, correct? 4 plus 0 should be 4. Yeah, same way here. You should be able to find it out. So 3, correct? 3 plus 0 equals to 3. Yes. Now moving forward. You got this, right? So now you have this row, correct? By using this row and this allocated cell, you would be able to find out V2, correct? So what would be that? 3 plus this equals to 12, right? So how much should be added in 3 which should give you 12? 12 minus 3 basically, right? 9. 9 plus 3 is 12, correct? Yes, done. Now take reference of that, and then you would be able to find out this U2, correct? So 9 plus something equals to 9, which means it should be 0 here, correct? 9 plus 0 should be 9. Okay, sure. So now you have to find out U4. For U4, you can take reference of this, correct? Because you have got the value of corresponding column number, correct? So now this 9 plus this something should be equal to 7. So 9 plus what is 7? 9 minus 2 is 7, correct? Yeah, you got that value. Now you need to find out, all the rows are done. You need to find out these 2 columns. Easy. You can take reference of this U4 and you would be able to find out both of them. Okay, so we'll start with V3. So V3 means this plus this equals to 1, correct? You getting my point? So it means it is going to be 3 here. 3 plus this means 3 minus 2 is 1. Easy. Now let's go for this one. So this is going to be, you should get 0 over here, so it should be 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. Yeah. So how do we write down the formula? Because see, in the exam, I explained it in the easiest term for you. But in the exam, you'll have to write down the formula also, right? It's very easy. Row plus column equals to cost. So row is what? Ui plus column is what? Vj equals to cost is what? Cij. Correct? Cij, that corresponding row and column, intersection of that is that cost, right? So this is the formula to find out all the row numbers and all the column numbers. Easy up to this? Yes. Now let's move to the next step. So in the next step, you are going to find out the opportunity cost. Now what is opportunity cost? Okay. So wherever you see already allocations, forget about that. But then wherever you don't see any allocations, there you are trying to find out the allocation or opportunity cost. Okay. So basically, to find out the opportunity cost, you need to consider only non-allocated cells, okay, unoccupied cells. And let's see now, here the allocation is already there, so don't consider that cell at all. Wherever you don't see any allocations, at those cells only you would try to find out the opportunity cost. Now how do we indicate that? So let me do it this way, okay, where firstly I'll just draw down all of these squares and I'm going to write down some number in this, which is the opportunity cost, right? Are you getting that? In the allocated cells, I am not doing anything. I am not touching those cells at all. But wherever there are no allocations, I am going to find out the opportunity cost for all of those cells. Okay. Now, how do we find it out? Again, very easy formula, like that also, like that only. Okay. So, what do? You take this cost. Okay. Say for example, you are supposed to find out this opportunity cost. So 20, right? We found out this for a reason, right? We need to use those right now. So this 20 minus addition of these two. This 20 means cost minus addition of corresponding row and column number is going to be your opportunity cost. So what's that? 20 minus addition of corresponding row and column. 10 plus 9 is 19. So 20 minus 19. So 1 is your opportunity cost. You getting my point? 1 is your opportunity cost. Let me write down the costs in blue only. I just drew this in black to highlight that okay, these cells are the opportunity costs. Same way, let's quickly find out all the opportunity costs. So this is 5, right? Then 5 minus 13. 10 plus 3 is 13. 5 minus 13 is how much? Minus 8. Correct? Then 7 minus 12 is minus 5. Let it be minus, let it be 0, let it be positive. No problem at all. Okay? So, same way you have to find out all the opportunity costs. 13 minus, okay, all 0. So, it is going to be 13, right? So, this is easy because of this 0, right? You don't have to consider this at all. 12 minus, directly you can do 3, right? Because 3 plus 0 is 3. So, 12 minus 3 is 9. 8 minus 2 is 6, correct? Yeah. Now, in this cell, let's see. 15 minus 9 plus 4 is 13. 15 minus 13 is 2. 7 minus 7 is 0. 9 minus 6 is 3. Easy? You understand? I hope you all are in track with me. Okay? 14 minus, again this is 0. So just subtract this. 14 minus 2 means 14 plus 2, basic. So yeah, this is 16. Okay? Now let's check for this. 5 minus 6 is minus 1. 19 minus 5 is 14. Correct? Now, I explained you. So, what's this opportunity cost formula basically is like cost minus addition of that particular row and column. Correct? So, how do we write it down? Cost. Cost is what? Cij minus addition of that particular row and column. What's that row? Ui. What's that column? Vj. Addition of those two. Each subtracted from that cost is going to give you the opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is indicated by triangle like this. Okay, so if in the first glance you look at these formulas, many students get confused and scared. Yeah, but you see how easy these formulas are, right? And that's why I prefer this way always. Like do it with numbers first and then form the formula out of it. So now it is easy. Correct? So now this part is done. Two important steps are done. You found out row numbers and column numbers. You found out opportunity costs also. Now next step. Observe all the opportunity costs. If you have all the opportunity costs positive, then the solution is already optimum 1. Okay? You don't have to do this ahead. If at least one opportunity cost is minus or negative, then you have the scope of improvement. So in our case, you see that yes, there are few minus opportunity costs. This is minus 1, minus 8, minus 5, right? It means that yes, you need to solve it ahead to get the optimum solution. Now what to do? Now we'll focus on this negative part, which is the highest negative number. Which is the highest? See, there are 3, minus 1, minus 8 and minus 5. So minus 8 is the one, right? So now what we have to do? We have to consider this cell. I am going to do it in the different color now. Okay? I am marking this as in green right now. Why? Because this is giving me an idea or hint that I need to make some allocation here. Okay, that's why I am marking here. But then, how do I make that allocation? Okay, so let's see. See why I am planning to make allocation here. Can you just try to understand it logically? Because we are finding out opportunity cost right now, correct? And cost should be always minimum. Wherever you see minimum cost, not 0, even less than that, then wherever you see minimum cost, so that is why minus 8. And that is why you are planning to make some allocation here. Now, how do we do that? See this step, next step very carefully. It is very easy. Not really tricky. Students find it tricky, but it's very easy. I'll explain it in the easiest way. Okay, let's go on a long drive. Now we'll start from here. And where should I stop? I am not allowed to stop anywhere in any cell except the allocated cell. Because allocated cell means the constructed house. Yeah, I can take break in the constructed house only. I can't stop anywhere on this road because there are no any house to stop or to take rest. So, I am going to take only straight turns, right? No U-turns, no curvy turns, no tilted turns. Just vertical and horizontal, straight lines, standing lines, sleeping lines. That's it, right? And after this journey I again need to reach at that point, because that's my house, right? So basically what I am trying to tell you by using this example is from whichever point you start, go straight, vertical or horizontal, in clockwise or anti-clockwise direction, but then stop only at cells which are allocated. Okay, stop only at allocated cells, and you need to complete that loop, means you need to return to your original cell. Okay, now let's see. So I'll move in this direction, I'll take my first stop here, right? I can't move here, but then I can move here, because from here I have got allocated cell here, so I am taking some rest here also. Now I can't move, I can move here, right? But once I go there, I don't have any option of here or here, right? I'll be again stuck. So better I move down, I take rest here, right? Because allocated cell. Then I see this allocated cell, I take rest here. But then if I stop here, then I can see my source plus my destination, my home here, correct? So I'll straight away go to this cell, and from here I'll come back to my home. You getting my point? So what we have done, we are trying to draw a closed loop. Okay, by using vertical and horizontal lines only, you can move in clockwise or anti-clockwise manner, doesn't matter, and then you can take rest or you can stop only at occupied cells. Correct? Yeah. So this is the direction which we moved in, right? This direction, this, then this, then here, and then finally here. Correct? We moved in this clockwise direction. You can move in anti-clockwise, no problem. Now next step, again very important. Your home, right? You are planning to make some allocation here. You already saw that. That's why you will give plus sign here. Okay? Then alternate signs. You always have to go in that loop with alternate signs. So if plus is here, on your next stop it is going to be minus. Then on your next stop it is going to be plus, then minus, then plus, then minus. You got my point? So by these signs, you will come to know we are going to do some calculations with this. Okay, so now wherever you see minus, see where all you see minus, this 20. What are the allocations at minus? 20, then 30 and then 10, right? 10, 20, 30. These have this minus sign, correct? Which is the lowest number in this? 10, correct? So you are going to consider that 10. Now you need to subtract this 10 wherever you see minus sign, and you need to add this 10 wherever you see plus sign. Easy. Now why this is so? Why not 20? Why not the max number? Again think logically. If you take 30 as like, okay, you need to subtract 30 from these minus numbers and then plus, add it in the plus. Then what about this 10? If you subtract this 30 from this 10, it is going to give you minus 20, right? Minus 20 allocation. Doesn't make any sense logically, right? So we are disturbing the existing matrix by using that way. That is why out of these three negative numbers, whichever is the lowest negative number, you are going to deal with that number. Okay? Plus sign have to add, minus sign have to subtract. What's the number? 10. Correct? Let's do that in this matrix now, because we have already done like lot of work in this one matrix only. Okay? We'll start with our home only. So we have to add 10. Correct? So 10 allocations are there now. Correct? Now we have to subtract here minus sign. So 20 minus 10 is, so this is 1, right? So 20 minus 10 is 10. Correct? Now here you have to add 10 again because of plus sign. 10 and allocations, right? We are now adding the allocations only. We are changing the allocations. So we are just shifting the allocations basically. So 10 plus 10 is 20. So here you are going to make 20 allocations. 30 minus 10 is again 20. So here you are going to make 20. Here 20 plus 10 is 30. So here what I am checking, double checking that I am making the allocation in the correct corresponding cell only. Correct? Now 10 minus 10 is 0. So we removed the allocation from here and we shifted that allocation to the new cell. Right? Because that might give me the better solution. But then what about the existing allocations, right? Which are there in circle, like this 20, like this 10. Yeah? So those we are going to copy as they are. So what are those allocations? Like 20, correct? So we'll carry over this as it is. Then at this 0 we have 10. So yeah, copy it as it is. Any other allocation which we have left, which is untouched? Yes, this is untouched. So at 4 you have 30. Right? All the allocations we have copied down. This matrix is known as first improvement matrix or first improvement table. And this is going to be the better solution than this solution, right? Because this is improved. But then we don't know if this is the best or not, or if there is still scope of improvement, right? We don't know yet. we'll again have to check that. Okay, so basically this is known as your first improvement table or first improvement matrix, correct? Okay, now we'll have to do the same steps again, exactly same step again. So first step, what was the very first step? Let's check if this is feasible or not for further optimum solution. So what was that rule? M plus n minus 1 is, this is always going to be 8. Now let's check the allocations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good to go? Yes. So we can find out, we can go ahead with Modi method if we have this criteria fulfilled. Okay, but then this is the best solution or no, that will come to know later after finding out these opportunity costs, right? So for that opportunity cost, we need to find out the row numbers and column numbers again. Easy? Yeah, the same process we are going to see. So these are your row numbers, these are your column numbers. Row numbers are indicated by U1, U2, U3, U4 and U5. Column numbers are V1, V2, V3 and V4. Now just check which row or column has the maximum allocations. There you can put it 0 or you can actually put randomly 0 anywhere, but putting it in the such row or column where maximum allocations are there, that eases your calculation, right? Because then you would be able to find out the corresponding columns numbers easily, right? Let's see where you see the maximum allocations. In first row just 1, then 1, 3 allocations, then 2 allocations. If you go column wise 1, 3, 2, 1. Sorry, 2, 3, 2, 1. So 3 is the maximum, right? So you can take 0 anywhere, correct? Out of that. This row also has 3 occupied cells and this column also has 3 occupied cells, correct? So you can either write 0 here or here. Doesn't matter. I am writing down randomly, or even if not out of this, you can write down 0 anywhere randomly. Still you are going to get the solution, correct? Now you have this 0, so that now you can find out this, correct? Corresponding columns. Let's see, this plus this should be equal to this cost. So 0 plus 0, 0, easy. 0 plus something should be 1, so it is going to be 1. Then 0 plus something should be 7, so this is going to be 7. Easy. 7 plus 0 is 7. Done. Okay, now only this column is left, but then for that you need to find out the other row. So let's see this. Okay, because you have got this column, so you will find out the 7 plus something should be 12. So 7 plus 5, right? 7 plus 5 is 12. Now again see here, we can find out U2 also. 7 plus something is 9. 7 plus 2 is 9, correct? Now let's see that V1, you have this U5, right? So this 5 plus something is 3. 5 plus what? 5 minus 2 is 3. Correct? So you got that. Now by using this, you should be able to find out this. So this minus 2 plus something should be 4. So it should be 6. 6 minus 2 is 4. Now, yeah, only U1 is remaining. What's the U1? This, see, by using this you can find out, right? So 5 is equal to something plus 1. Okay, 1 plus something is 5. 1 plus 4 is 5. You got all the rows, all the columns, done. Let it be minus 0, any number, doesn't matter, correct? Now next step is very important. You have to find out the opportunity cost. Okay, so make this square wherever you are going to find out the opportunity cost. Okay, this looks interesting, right? This is not really tough, but it is very interesting, I would say. Okay, now let's see. Find out the opportunity cost in the first cell. So that is going to be what? This minus addition of corresponding row and column. So 10 minus 2, correct? 10 minus 2, it is 8. Now here, 20 minus 11, so it is 9. Now here, 7 minus 4 is 3. Here, 13 minus 0 is 13. Here, 12 minus 3, correct? 2 plus 1 is 3. 12 minus 3 is 9. Here, 8 minus 2 is 6. Here, 15 minus 13 is 2. Here 7 minus 7 is 0. Here 9 minus 6 is 3. Here 14 minus 2 means 14 plus 2 is 16. Here 5 minus 6 is minus 1. I was really hoping till this point we didn't get any minus number, minus opportunity cost, which means that okay, our solution is going to end there, but no, that is not the case. Okay, so now what was that? 5 minus 6 is minus 1, then 19 minus 5 is 14. Okay, so now observe all these opportunity costs, do you see any negative number? Forget about 0. 0 is also fine. That is the different case. But then you just have to check for the negative number. So if there are multiple negative numbers like this, then you have to consider the highest negative number. Okay, meaning lowest number. Okay, but then here in this case, all are positive except this. Yeah, so that is going to be your home for now. There you are planning to make some allocations. This is my home. Now again, let's start driving the car. If I go in this direction, but then I can't stop here because I don't have any stop otherwise, right? So the only stop for me left is this, correct? So this is going to be my first stop, right? Now after this, I can't move here because again I don't have any hotel, but then I can move here and I can stop at this hotel, right? Okay, now if I stop here, I have two options, this and this, but then I can't stop here. Again, I would be stuck there. So I would stop here. Yeah, and I'll straight away come back to my home. Easy. This journey was very small, right? Here I got to roam so much, yeah. But here I just had a short drive. Okay, so now from where you started here, so plus, then minus, then plus, then minus. Easy. What are the minus numbers? 10. Now numbers in the sense not these cost, these allocations, because you are planning to shift those allocations to your home, right? So what are the allocations? 10 and 20. So 10 and 20 are the allocations with minus sign. So what allocation you are going to consider now? 10. Yeah. So you need to add 10 here and here, and you need to subtract 10 from here and here. And other things are going to be same. So let me just carry down everything here. Very quickly we are going to do this now. Okay, so let's see if we add 10 here, right? So there are going to be now 10 allocations, correct? Now we need to subtract those 10 here, so there won't be any allocation here. Add 10 to this 20, so there are going to be 30 allocations here, and then subtract 10 from this 20, so there. Okay, so now I have noted down all the allocations. I just copied them down, all the allocations to save your time. Okay, now let's just directly try to find out the row number, column number, and then opportunity cost. Okay, so let's find out the row numbers, column numbers. I'm not going to write down U1, U2 and V1, V2 now. We'll directly find it out. Let's see where do we see the maximum allocations. So you see the maximum allocations which are 3, correct? So you see 3 here. You also see in this column also. So wherever you feel good, you just make that as 0 and find out the corresponding values. Okay, so now this 0, from using this 0 you can find out these corresponding column numbers, and those are going to be considered only cost figures, right? We are not going to touch the allocations right now. So this is going to be 5, same, correct? Because 5 plus 0 is 5. Again this is going to be 12 and this is going to be 3. Easy up to this. Now this will give me this. So 5 plus something should be 5. So this is 0, right? 5 plus 0 is 5. Now let's see this. Now 12 plus something should be 9. So 12 plus what? 12 minus 3 is 9, correct? So this is done. Now let's see for this allocation. So 3 plus something should be 4. So 1, correct? 3 plus 1 is 4, right? Now what is left? What's left? This and this, right? So yeah, by using this we should be able to find out this row, correct? 12 plus something is 7. 12 plus what? 12 minus 5 is 7. Correct? 12 minus 5 is 7. Now, what is left? This one is left, correct? So you have to find out this by taking help of this. So minus 5 plus something should be 0. So plus 5, yeah? Minus 5 plus 5 is 0. 5 minus 5 is 0. Okay, so all the U's and V's are done. Rows and columns are done. Now we have to find out the opportunity cost. For again, speedy purpose or to make this video faster, I have already made the squares in black to highlight those. Now let's see what are the opportunity costs. So let's start with this. So 10 minus addition of these two. So 10 minus 3. What's that? 10 minus 3 is 7. Correct? What are we doing? Why are you finding this opportunity cost? Because after that only you will come to know if there is still scope of improvement or yes, this is the optimum one, right? If you have any negative number in this opportunity cost, then again you have to do the same process. But then if you get all positives or 0, then there you go. Okay, so now let's see 7, right? Then find out for this 20 minus 12. 20 minus 12 is 8. Correct? Now for this 7 minus 5 is 2. Correct? Now for this 13 minus 0 is 13. Correct? Now for this 12 minus 5 minus 3 is 2. 12 minus 2 is 10. Now for this 8 minus 2. correct? 8 minus 2 is 6. Now for this, 15 minus 13 is 2. Now for this, 7 minus 6 is 1. Now for this, 9 minus 6 is 3. Now for this, 14 minus minus 2 is 14 plus 2. So that is 16. 1 and then 0. So 1. And here 19 minus 5 is 14. Correct? So these are your opportunity costs, and as you can see, all the opportunity costs are positive finally. So yes, we are done with the solution. We are done with the Modi method now. So now let's transfer this solution in the tabular format. So wherever you see these round allocations, right, those are your final allocations. Let's copy those here. So this is S1. Now you know that this is S1, source 1, source 2, source 3, source 5, source 5, sorry. And then destination 1, destination 2, destination 3 and destination 4. Correct? D1, D2, D3, D4. Right? And these are your S5. S1, S2, S3, S4, S5. Where do you see the first allocation? S1 and D3. Write it down. S1 and D3. What's the allocation? That is 10. What's the cost? That is 5. Correct? We'll calculate the total cost later. Okay? So this cell is done. Right? So, see. This cell is done. Okay. Now, next cell. Which cell do you see the allocation? Here, right? S2, D2. S2, D2. What is the allocation? 20 and cost is 9. So, 20 and 9. Okay. This cell is done. Right. Now, next is this. Right. S2 is done. Correct? Completely. We are going row wise basically. So, this is S3, D1. S3 and D1. 34. So this is 30, this is 4. Correct? So this is also done. Do you see any other? No. Now we'll go to S4. S4D2. So you have S4D2. S4D2 is 37. 37. Correct? So this is also done. Now you see one more allocation for S4. S4D4. 10, 0. S4D4 10, 0. Okay, that is going to be 0 ultimately. Okay, so this is done. Then in last cell you have 3 allocations, right? So S5, along with S5 you have, what are the destinations? D1, D2 and D3, correct? D1, D2, D3. What are the allocations and everything? Cost 33. First is 33. Next is 10, 12. 10, 12, then 10, 5. 10, 5. Are we done with all the 8 allocations? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Correct? So there are 8 allocations, right? We are done with this also, this also, this also. Okay. So now just take multiplication of allocation and cost. That is going to give you total cost, and then take the grand total of it. That is going to give you the total cost for this transportation problem. Yeah. And that is going to be the best solution. Okay, so now let's do that. So this 10 into 5 is 50, 20 into 9 is 9 18, 4 trick 12, 7 trick 21, this is 0, 3 trick 9, 120 and 50, right? And if you take grand total of that, that is going to be what? See, 9 plus 10, 820, yes? So that is going to be 820. So this is the 820 is the final transportation cost for this transportation problem, right? Moving, and this is going to give you the plan, correct? That okay, this source to this destination you need to move this much quantity basically, correct? So basically, for example, from S2 to D2 you should move 20 quantities, which is going to cost you 9 rupees. That way you are supposed to read this matrix or this solution, and the total cost for transportation by using Modi method you get as 820 rupees. That is the optimum solution, right? Now what I will give you one homework as, find out the optimum solution or find out the transportation cost for this first improvement table and this second improvement table. Quite easy. You just have to do this multiplication, right? Wherever you see the allocations, actual allocations by circles, just multiply and then again take the grand total. Find out that for this and this. what you will observe that, and find out for this also by using VAM also, whatever you solved. So what you will observe, the solution of the total cost which you got by using VAM, and then this is much improved. So the cost reduces in this, cost further reduces in this, and then you get the final further reduce the best cost in this. Yeah, so this is how the Modi method works. I hope you like the Modi method, and I hope you like this video also. If you like the video and if you found it very easily explained, please like, share and subscribe to my channel, and keep sharing, keep in touch. Okay, stay tuned. Bye bye.